Hi, how are you doing today? I was at a meeting recently, a church meeting, where we were talking about how things have changed over this past year and how we've had to come to grips with the new technology being used for going to church. The question was posed, why do we go to church? Well, we've had many months of not going anywhere, haven't we? So why, now churches are open, would we actually go out to church rather than just staying at home? I have come to enjoy the freedom to join many church services from around Scotland at a day and time to suit me. I've been able to watch services on Zoom and not leave the comfort of my own home. There have been no uncomfortable pews to sit on. I'll admit, I have watched wearing my pyjamas and even on occasion watched from my bed. Have I fallen asleep during any services? Well, I think I'll keep that to myself. I've also been able to eat my breakfast or make my lunch whilst watching. Press pause to take or make a phone call, nip to the shops, or anything at all really. All very handy and convenient, you might say. And it has been. But is that what it should really be like when we go to church? By having the freedom to start, pause and stop, am I really paying attention to the service? Of course I can't be, and I must make it clear that this is not really how I do watch church. Having the technology which has allowed us to share in our church services has been wonderful, and I am so glad we've been able to do this. So I thank you, Lord, for everyone who makes it possible for us to join in church services from home. That's the thing though, isn't it? We don't really get to join in from home, do we? We don't get the same experience and to share the fellowship of the others around us, to hear or to see people in person, to catch up with everyone's news and see how people are doing, things that are so much better done in person. So why do we go to church? Well, primarily for me, it is to worship God. To do exactly the opposite of what I was talking about before, where I talked about all the things I could do while I was watching church from home. I need to take time out, to make time, to still my heart, my soul, and my very busy mind from the day-to-day hustle and bustle around me, and to focus on my faith. I sometimes compare myself to a car, and when I go to church, I go in empty, and I come out with my tank refueled. I am energized and ready to face another week of whatever life throws at me. My spiritual tank is refilled. Being in church gives me time for reflection, time for prayer. Again, these can of course be done at home and are. I don't only pray once a week. But there is something very special to me about being in the sanctuary and feeling God's presence there. I have enjoyed church services in many different places, but being in my church, Banchory Town in East Church, is like coming home. This is where my church family are. This is the church I have been part of throughout my life. This is a church I went to with my parents and my children. One of my sisters was married there, as were John and I, and my little sister was baptised there, and so were all my children. I have many wonderful and special memories, both happy and sad, from being in this church. I do know that church is not a building or a place, but about gathering with Christians to worship God, that really could be done anywhere. But for today, I wonder, do you have a memory of a time in a specific church that is very special to you that you would share with us? So, why do I go to church? Well, I go to church to worship God, to sing His praises, refill my tank with fuel, reflect, pray, and enjoy the fellowship and community of my church family. I get so much out of this. I feel truly blessed that I am able to do this freely, and I pray I will be able to for many years to come.